Hello and welcome back. Today I want to explain that the Quran proves without doubt that Muhammad is not the prophet like Moses. Now, why am I getting into this? I'm getting into this because the Quran says that Muhammad can be found in the previous scriptures prophesied. And Muslims, of course, they have taken up the challenge to search for him, and they use a couple of key texts in order to try to prove their point. The primary text they try to use is Deuteronomy chapter 18, verse 15, where it says, "The Lord your God will rise up for you a prophet like me from among your own brothers. You must listen to him." And I want to highlight one aspect of this prophet who needs to be like Moses. Specifically, he needs to be like Moses in the aspect of he needs to be able to perform miracles. Now, the Quran is quite clear that Muhammad did not perform any miracles, and I just want to provide you with a small sampling of these surahs to prove that to be the case. We're going to start with Surah chapter 6, verse 37, and it says, "And they say, why has not a sign been sent down to him from his Lord? Surely Allah is able to send down a sign, but most of them do not know." So once again, it's saying that that they're wondering why exactly a sign has not been sent down, because if you look at the Jewish and Christian scriptures, whenever a prophet like Moses and Jesus, or they would perform miracles to authenticate what they were saying. Or you can even look at the apostles of Jesus with regards to the preaching of the resurrection. They had miracles to affirm what they were saying it was true. And we have here, the people are asking Muhammad, why hasn't Allah given you the ability to perform miracles? And I want to provide you with another surah to make that clear with regards to that Muhammad did not perform miracles. In Surah chapter 13, verse 7, it says, "And those who disbelieve say, why has no sign been sent down upon him from his Lord? You are only a warner, and there is a guide for every people." So once again, they're asking, why has a sign not been sent down? And then it says that Muhammad is only a warner, a guide for the people. Or we can look at Surah chapter 17, verse 59. It says, and pay attention to this. It says, "And nothing could hinder us that we should send signs except that the ancients rejected them. And we gave Samud the she-camel a magnificent sign, but on her account they did injustice, and we do not send signs but to make men fear." So notice it said in Surah chapter 17, verse 59, it says, "And nothing could have hindered us that we should send down signs except that the ancients rejected." So it's saying that Allah is powerful enough to send down signs, but he's not going to send down signs to Muhammad because the people previous to him rejected the miracles, so Muhammad's not going to get a miracle to authenticate what he's saying. I want to also look at Surah chapter 29, verse 50 and 51. It says, "And they say, why are no signs sent down upon him from his Lord? Say, the signs are only with Allah." So it's saying the miracles are with Allah. And it says, say, "Why are these signs not sent down from his Lord?" Say, the signs are only with Allah, and I am only a plain warner. And verse 51 says, "Is it not enough for them that we have revealed to you the book which is recited to them? Most surely there is mercy in this, and a reminder for the people who believe." So once it's saying here that Muhammad's miracle is actually the Quran. I don't know exactly how it can be the Quran and be considered to be sent down from God whenever the Quran is plagiarized from several different sources, whether that is Gnostic Gospels, whether that's empty Gospels, whether that's even the Jewish Talmud. The point I'm making is we can take the Quran and we can find major aspects of where it has plagiarized material. We can go back to the original sources and we can connect the dots and say that the Quran has taken from this source and taken from this source, and the Quran's been thrown together and then passed off as a revelation from God when it actually is not, because how can you call it a revelation from God when it's clearly plagiarized from other sources? So that's just one aspect that the Muslims need to consider is how can a work be from God whenever it plagiarizes from other sources? But more so than that, you need to ask yourself, why in the world did Allah not allow Muhammad to perform any miracles if he was to be the prophet like Moses, which was a requirement to be able to perform miracles? Because Moses performed several miracles, whether it's the parting of the Red Sea or the snake. He turned his staff into a snake and then back into a staff, or he even he placed his hand into his coat and his hand turned into leprosy. If you want to know who the true prophet like Moses was, be sure to click the video at the end of this video. I hope you enjoy. I'll see you next time.